You don't? I mean,
And,
Jingle Bells wasn't written as a Christmas song.
is that right?
Yeah, according to
When was it?
this.
What was it? Is it to do with Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was. Now, did you know that?
I think I've heard that fact before.
Right, we'll move on then. Jingle Bells was the first tune played in space live.
Why
I can't hear you now.
can't you hear me now?
Now I can. I think you just cut out. Jingle Bells was actually the first tune played live in space in 1965. Live.
By who?
A couple of astronauts, Wally Schirra and Tom Stafford.
Good. Okay, that's not heard of Tom Stafford. So there you go. That's
No, not an inspiring astronaut name, is it?
no.
What?
Wally Shearer, I've always thought is an interesting name, isn't it? Because
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of anybody else called Shearer.
It's like Barry Dudley.
Is he an astronaut? Is he?
Barry Dudley. I hope not. Well, they say you can't hear screams in space, but Jingle Bells.
You
Not
can
a
hear
problem.
Jingle Bells.
Mm.
Yeah, that could have been a tagline for a film, couldn't it? In space, no one can hear you scream, but you can hear Jingle Bells. Could have been a Christmas Arnold Schwarzenegger based horror
Set in space.
set in space.
Yeah, crucially, the space part I feel is important to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why I like that. I appreciate the excellent lighting of your scenery. That's good.
Terrible, isn't it? The lighting in this room is awful. Shall I
Yeah.
turn the light on? See if it makes it better. I turn the actual
Have you not got a light you could sort of stick in front of you?
in front of me, but then between me and the computer screen.
No. Just to the side.
To the side, like
Use your maths. Use your angles.
if I sat on the floor, so that's better, isn't it?
That is better.
But hang on. There's a dog in the way. Yeah, that's kind of better, isn't it? That's the picture's
I like it.
sharper now.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
It's better.
Okay. You still see the Christmas tree as well.
Yeah. You see
So when you've edited it, I can, yeah. Okay. I was going to say when you've edited this and it comes out in February, it will be. Everyone will know that it's not February. You'll spoil the illusion.
That's true.
Is that an empty goldfish bowl you've got by the side of you there or something?
I can't see anything. I could just see green.
Okay. Do you not know what's on it? You didn't choose the picture. You just
No, is it not a desert? You know, you make the cutting comment that this won't come out until February. Well, interestingly, did you know that Christmas used to last until the 2nd of February?
Okay. That's what I meant.
Well, yeah, it ran from Feast of St. Martin, 11th of November, to Candlemas on the 2nd of February. So 3 months.
Had enough by then, though, probably. I mean, you've had enough. But people didn't leave their decorations up, though, did they? They still took their decorations down on 12th night. Is that not right?
What, their lights?
Yeah, all
in the 17th century.
Yeah,
They're fake trees.
Yeah, all the electric lights and stuff. They would have taken those down.
They didn't bother with the electric lights apparently in the 1600s. Yeah, they were just.
They just couldn't be bothered with electricity, could they? I've noticed this. They just didn't seem interested in any gadgets or
No,
computers or anything.
no.
They're too busy.
Indifference.
Too busy with, lazy. Well, I don't think it was laziness.
It was just
Was
really
it
into
lazy?
the abacus. Yeah. Tactile.
Yeah. Sometimes, I can imagine you get a bit carried away with an abacus, can't you? You get a bit engrossed.
There's a lot to do, you know. Left, right.
Have you ever seen a professional abacus person?
No.
They're very fast at using an abacus.
Really? I've never seen one used effectively.
You should Google it. It's like Google. You could insert now into this video at this point a clip of an abacus. Yeah, I don't know what they're called. I don't know what
An
the name is of
abacus
the person.
expert.
Yeah, but there must be a word for it. I don't know what it is. I've got a dog here biting my leg.
How long should Christmas last for you?
So I go back to school. I go back to work. Because you don't want to go back to work, and because if you went back to work and you thought it was still Christmas, you'd be really annoyed that you had to go back to work and it was still Christmas. So you have to tell yourself it's not Christmas anymore.
Yeah, but on the 7th of December, neither here nor there, right? When should it start?
Can you hear my dog?
Start?
When should it start? Can you hear the dog making a noise with this? It should start the first weekend in December. Unless the first weekend in December is in November, in which case it should start the first weekend closest to the 1st of December.
So not the Feast of St. Martin? Apparently.
It's like St. Martin's Square, is that in town?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Where's that in town? Where is it? It's somewhere in town, isn't it?
It's by St. Martin's, isn't it?
I presume St. Martin, you must have been there. You must have been
to the Church of St. Martin.
The town, yeah.
Yeah, because traditionally everything named after a saint, they've been there, haven't they? Otherwise they can't do it, not allowed.
They have to live there for a while.
Yeah, so St. Martin.
Otherwise, why should they claim any kind of ownership to the place?
It's fair. It's a fair point.
When you get to the pub and it's like the pub's called the King's Head, you sort of wonder which king it was.
Yeah, but that's fine because that's just the head. So that's like kind of coin. So maybe just they had change.
That's better.
What did you do?
Put the light on.
Yeah. I mean, what an idea! If only would have thought of that.
Because it was dark, wasn't it?
It was dark.
What I thought was, what occurred to me was, right,
the
picture is really dark. And then I thought, maybe if I put the light on.
No, that's not what happened, is it? What happened was you thought, it's a bit dark. Maybe if I sit on the floor, it will help in some way. Near a dog.
Sometimes it works, you know. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows that light is heavy and it falls to the ground, isn't it? So if you're in a room with this is smoke.
Is that right?
Am I getting confused with smoke?
So St. Martin was a Archbishop
of Birmingham.
No, in Portugal.
No. In Portugal?
Mm.
Did he ever go to Birmingham?
Well, he was alive from 520 to 500.
He probably didn't, did he? He probably never went to Birmingham because that was before they invented aeroplanes, wasn't it?
Was it before they invented Birmingham?
Was it before we were in the EU? Because travel has been easier then since we joined the EU, hasn't it? International travel. Birmingham didn't exist, did it, in 530? Did you know? You did know this, didn't you? Did you know there's a Birmingham on the moon? You pretend you didn't know this. pretend you didn't know.
1871. That's when Birmingham was invented.
Not Birmingham on the moon. Did you know there's a Birmingham on the moon?
Which moon?
The main one. The main moon.
Oh yeah. Okay. I did not.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. On the moon.
Is it near Dudley?
One of the grey bits. Near the grey
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dark or light?
Yeah, medium.
Grey.
Medium. Yeah.
So what? So what's the punchline?
No, that's just a fact.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah.
I don't do jokes anymore. There's no point, is there? No point. Talking about international travel, I tell you what, I've been watching the first series of Auf Feta-sehen Pet.
Dankeschön.
And yeah, that's it. Yeah, good. And what I have noticed is how easy it is to get
A laugh.
to get. You know what? I didn't even know. I was watching it. Do you think is Auf Feta-sehen Pet a comedy?
Well, when it came back, I remember thinking it was a comedy and hearing that it was kind of funny. So I think but it's not really, is it?
Well, because I was watching it, because I'm not very good at telling when something's a comedy or not.
Right.
So I watched it.
As
Sometimes
a booker, as a comedy booker, that's not a great thing.
It explains some of the acts I've booked, doesn't it? So, so sometimes I'll watch a film or a TV program and I'll like it, and someone will go, "Oh yeah, that was really funny, wasn't it?" And I'll go, "Oh, I didn't realize that was meant to be funny. I just thought that was kind of an interesting."
Yeah.
That's why that time at the Roadhouse, when that the incident at the Roadhouse, the act,
the big fire.
No, not the fire. The act who.
Oh yeah.
See, I wasn't thinking in terms of is this funny. I was watching, thinking this is quite interesting, and then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, no one's laughing," and I thought, but it's not that kind of thing, is it? It's just interesting.
Yeah.
And they seemed weren't laughing, but I was a bit annoyed because I was quite interested in what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Because Auf Feta-sehen Pet, right? Because Auf Feta-sehen Pet, like the episode I watched last night, he goes to a bar and this woman starts chatting to him and he takes this woman home, but he just walks her home because he's married and everything. And then the next day, she turns up with the police accusing him of beating her up, and she's all cut all over her face and everything. And like, it doesn't sound like comedy, does it? Doesn't sound like a comedy.
No.
But what made me suspect it might have been a comedy is because it's written by the same people who wrote Porridge. So I thought maybe it's a comedy because they write comedies, don't they?
Well, maybe they can only write jokes set in prisons, and they were trying to get the main characters imprisoned so they could finally make it funny. So they're trying everything that they possibly could.
Yeah.
How's that for a theory?
Well, maybe they're only funny when Ronnie Barker's in their stuff. Maybe if Ronnie Barker had been in Auf Feta-sehen Pet, it would have been a lot funnier. Anyway, the reason I was talking about this was because I hadn't realised how easy it was to get from Newcastle or whatever to Germany. It's like you can get there in about 5 minutes. They'll be in one scene in Newcastle, and then it'll cut to the bar in Germany, and they'll walk in, and one of the other characters will go, "Oh, it didn't take you very long to get back." That's my Geordie accent. It's not good at it. And I think, yeah, that's right, isn't it? You're just pointing out, the other characters are pointing out the plot holes in their own, as if to it's say, quicker. Yeah, we know they couldn't have got back this quick, but we're going to point this out so that you don't think it's a mistake. It's like to cover their.
Can you link this to Christmas somehow?
Can I link this to Christmas somehow?
Yeah.
So what I was trying to say was what's amazing is how quickly we've got from March until Christmas without almost anything happening in between. I didn't realize until this year how quickly you could get from March, which is like Newcastle, to Christmas, which is like Dusseldorf, which is where Christmas trees came from, isn't it? Like Germany and stuff. So, have you been watching The Crown?
No, man, I fucking hate them.
That's good. It's good. Well, that's why you should watch it then. People who hate it should watch it the most because it's very negative, isn't it? About you can watch it and you can go, yeah, that's why I hate them.
I've got some Christmas questions.
Oh, go on then. I didn't know you had questions. I thought we were just talking about the telly and air travel.
Well, Santa flies in the air, so that's a link in it.
How do you say, right? How do you say
Mm-hmm.
the name of the person who invented? That's not the right word. Is it designed? Is that the right word? You know, who created the London sewer system?
How do you say his name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Kind of gives you the answer, doesn't it? Kind of gives you the answer.
What do you? So you think you know how to pronounce his name, and people are getting?
Yeah,
wrong?
I know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, because it's just.
I remember his name.
That's what his name is. Go on, look it up. Go on.
Joseph Bazalgette.
Joseph Bazalgette.
Yeah,
Bazalgette.
let's say I said
Yeah.
that. Is that right?
That's what everyone I've ever heard say is Joseph Bazalgette. Until my kids came back from school and said that in history they'd been learning about Joseph Bazalgette.
Are they becoming too middle class?
I don't know what's happening. I think either the history teacher
It's French.
doesn't know how to say the name of Joseph Bazalgette, or maybe it's a clever way of if they say it wrong and they know it's going to be said wrong at home, it'll get their parents talking to them about it and make it more memorable for them. Could be really clever.
That's a good. I like that. That is good. I think you read too much into it, but it is clever. It's a good idea.
Because they've been doing about the suffragettes as well recently, and I said, "Is that not right?" The teacher is pronouncing that suffragette. That wasn't one of his questions, was it?
No.
No.
Is your tree up? That could be green screen. That could be green screen.
It's not green screen. Do you want me to interact with it?
You know what? You know what? The real no, stop. The real tragedy is your background looks more like green screen than mine.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but you've practiced this. You've practiced setting up your computer and things. I
didn't code Zoom, but thank you. How tall is your tree?
Not very. 4 feet.
Okay.
4 foot tall.
4 feet. Yeah, 4 foot. Yeah. 4 foot. Really?
Yeah. 4 British feet.
Worth more.
Not French. Yeah.
Worth
Did you know that's why they thought Napoleon was short? Because in the 1800s, the French foot was bigger than the English foot.
It wasn't one of the reasons that someone famously satirized him in a cartoon, being on someone's hand.
Yeah. Because different feet were different sizes.
Yeah, or what I said.
Same thing.
Can you
That's why we have the metric system. You know all about the metric system. Do your viewers know? Are they interested in the metric system? Are they interested?
Can you name the top Christmas tree producing states of America? No, you get
Oregon?
1, 2, 3,
Oregon?
4, 5, 6. You get 6 go. Yeah, that's right.
Oregon's one of them.
Yeah.
Because I know that Oregon is mostly forest.
Oh, can you do me a favor? I'm going to tell you them, and then no, you guess them, and then I'll ask you again, and then you just get them all right, and that'll be the bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can guess now. So what you going? So
Okay.
Oregon, that is right.
Okay. Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Montana.
No,
Idaho.
no.
No. Okay. So I'm going east there. I know I'm going east from
Yeah,
Washington. So if I go, so it's not going to be the ones with the big national parks in. So is it going to be like the southern states, like West Virginia? It's got lots of trees, hasn't it?
no,
New Hampshire, isn't that Vermont? Vermont, the ones
no.
along the
That's
top.
no. Vermont, no, no.
New
You
Hampshire.
fucked it. You
No.
fucked it.
How about Minnesota? No.
Yeah. Right,
No.
I'll tell you them again, and then we'll
Got it.
do the bit, and then I'll go. What? How did you do it? How did you know?
I started well there.
Yeah. So it's Texas.
Really? I would never have guessed. Well, I would eventually after
You
I'd
got to
done
remember.
all.
Yeah, you need to remember these.
Texas.
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
New York.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Dakota. North and
North and
south.
south.
North and south.
Both.
Both.
Okay. And Washington and Oregon.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. 6.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, and then you blow out the. Okay. Can you name the top Christmas tree producing states of America? You get 6 guesses.
I get 6 guesses. Right,
Mhm.
okay. Do I lose points if I get them wrong?
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
Oregon?
Yeah.
Is that right? You know how I know that? Because my family live in Oregon, and one of my mom's cousins, he's a lumberjack.
If you
and
can just give
owns a forest.
single
It's not
answers.
interesting. Okay, all right, sorry. He has to, right? He's built a house in a forest, and he can't walk down his drive unless he's got his gun because of bears.
No, that makes sense. I don't like bears.
That's
I would
true.
fear bears.
Yeah, bears. Yeah. Right, okay. You don't have to talk
Oregon.
about bears, do you? Right, okay. Washington, because that's next to Oregon.
Yeah.
That would be my logic there.
Makes sense.
There's a logic to this, right? I'll probably North Dakota.
No.
I thought you said North Dakota.
Nope.
South Dakota.
Nope.
North Dakota is the communist one, isn't it? And South Dakota is the one,
I think so.
the Democratic Republic. Yeah.
Well, you can do this.
New York.
Nope.
You're tricking me now. I'm feeling tricked. Is it Texas?
No.
You know what? We got our first Christmas tree from Texas. It was like this DIY place down in Maryhill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met Colin Baker at Texas.
What was your best
Dr.
Christmas present
ever?
Yeah.
My wife bought me a guitar. That was nice. That's a good present. I've been watching Gary Kasparov lecturing about chess. I start too many things. You see, I start something and then I start something else, and I ended up just decided I've got to finish things.
Yeah. You know, when Jesus lived in Galilee, the letter J didn't exist.
Did you know? Oh, go on. Right.
What do you make of that?
Sounds plausible.
Okay. In
they
Hebrew,
would
his
have
name
used-
was
Yeshua.
Yeshua or Joshua. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know? Yeah, because Joshua is the same name as Jesus,
It is. It used to be the same name. Yeah, that's right.
and Isaiah is the same name as well. You can basically, you got the same consonants. You just stick your random vowels in, and
And Isias and Isis. Yeah.
equivalent name. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not sure if ISIS is the same name. I don't know.
Well, J wasn't used in English until 1630, which is after Shakespeare, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Do you know that in Shakespeare died? What are you debating here?
Shakespeare's death.
1616.
Yeah, that's it.
But did you know that in lots of ciphers the letter J isn't used?
No.
Because often you use a 5x5 grid, and so you only have space for 25 letters. So you do that by removing all the J's. So if you're trying to trying to decrypt a code, and the first thing you're trying to do is try and determine what kind of code it is, so you know how to decrypt it. One thing you can do is check to see if there are any J's in it, because if there aren't, it would suggest that it's been encrypted using a 5x5.
So have you tried? Have you done escape rooms?
No.
Because you probably like those.
I might. Yeah. Just busy. No, busy.
Trapped at the moment.
Do lots of code.
In a room.
In a room with a dog who's just annoying me.
Not allowed out.
Do lots of code breaking there. It's the final on Thursday. It is the final of the Southampton University code breaking competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Great stuff.
Do you think that? I know it doesn't matter. It's not comedy, and
you know what? Have a go.
I was going to talk about John Lennon, but it doesn't matter. I was going to ask you a question about John Lennon, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I can imagine what he would ask, but
go on, imagine what the question would be. This could be a new feature. I'm thinking of a question about John Lennon. Can you imagine what it might be? This is good, isn't it? We've just created something.
Okay, let me just imagine. Do you imagine that I need to imagine other things so I can get to that because we're in the way. So I'm imagining there's no heaven, no hell below us, above us only sky. So imagine sky as well. Which is needless. I can skip that probably. I can't remember any of the other parts of the song, so
no.
I think you're imagining. No, you're not imagining anything, are you? You actually have a question.
Yeah, I had a thought about John Lennon today, but
let me try and guess what it is.
It's not. It's no, because
it's like a mind reading. It's sort of like a mind reading thing.
You'll think it's something interesting, won't you? Yeah, go on then.
No. Oh, hello. There's Tony. How's he doing?
Tony. Yeah. I just picked a random mind reading reference book off the shelf. It's not even a real.
I mean, that's quite a famous.
That's not even a real shelf. That's a green screen, but this is a magic trick, right? I can make it look like a real shelf. So
I swear, I don't know if I remember. I swear I read an anecdote where Tony Corinda turned up to a restaurant and started doing close up all night, and he never once did any mind reading.
So, is that true?
I think so. Yeah.
He's just bored of it. Wasn't he?
Easy money, isn't it? Easy money.
No, what did he do then instead? What did he do? Do you know what he did?
A lot of people don't know there's actually 14 steps to mentalism.
What is the hidden step? Is it like that could be like the fifth cheese, the 14th step, isn't it? You could do a magician's. Step. You see, this is brilliant tonight, isn't it? Right, so you could do this, a magician special, and it's called the 14th step.
The 14th step.
And at the end, you say to them,
"That's a good idea." What's the 14th step? Yeah, that's a good idea. I might do that. The 13th step.
14th step.
Sorry, yeah, the 14th step. What have you been doing?
What? Today, been at work. Doing maths. I've been writing a book about made-up maths words. There you go. That's almost interesting.
Tell me about your ghost story. Is that Christmas Day?
No, it's not Christmassy. Well, made-up maths words is more interesting. So I'll tell you some made-up maths words, and you can decide whether it's more interesting.
Done what?
Than a ghost story that you don't know anything about.
Okay.
I'll tell you that I can't tell you the story because that's like, right. So made-up maths words.
You've made these up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've looked for things in maths because I have to think about maths every day at work, right? So I've looked for things where I think there should be a word for it, but there isn't one.
Mm-hmm.
So I've made one up.
Okay.
And I'm going to put them all into a book, and I've got about 280.
Give me some of your zingers.
This can only lead to you being totally underwhelmed and a ventriloquism.
Not ventriloquism.
No. A ventriloquism is a 3-set Venn diagram.
It sounds too much like not ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Which
You see,
is
in maths,
talking.
sometimes you use words in maths that.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. I can see why they did that. Helps start the learning process.
Yeah, that's it.
Because a lot of people just use shapes, don't
they? Yeah, that method has been proven not to work.
Just using shape.
Yeah, they experimented with that, and they concluded you do actually need to say stuff.
When does an oblong become a sausage?
They're fundamentally different, aren't they? I would say. Wouldn't you say that a sausage is 3-dimensional and an oblong is 2-dimensional?
Do you think
we'd have to have at least another dimension added to it? Do you know what the difference is between an oblong and a rectangle?
Nail file? I don't know. Is it that the corners aren't very defined?
The difference is in an oblong, 2 of the sides have to be longer than 2 of the other sides. So
a rectangle.
But a square is a rectangle. But a square
whoa. A square is a rectangle.
Yeah. A square is a rectangle that just happens to have all 4 sides the same length.
An equilateral rectangle.
If you like.
So a rectangle is an oblong.
Yeah. That's no.
So there are no rectangles.
The only difference between a rectangle
is a
and an
square,
oblong.
and an oblong is a rectangle. So what's an oblong?
An oblong
a
is
triangle.
a rectangle. It's a rectangle that has 2 sides shorter than the other 2 sides. That's an oblong.
But does a rectangle have 2 sides shorter than the other 2 sides?
Usually, but it could also have all 4 sides the same and be a square, but that's still a rectangle, but it's not an oblong.
And what about the corners?
They're still square corners. And then there's an obshort. An obshort is a rectangle where 2 of the sides are shorter than the other 2 sides.
Wouldn't that be the same as 2 sides being longer for the other 2 sides?
You'd think so, but then it doesn't. They're equivalent, but not the same.
Right. Could you draw this?
Because it just looks like I haven't got a pen, but it just, they look the same.
What if
obshorts and oblongs look the same? See, some people think if you've got the word oblong, you don't need the word obshort. But then if you've got a greater than sign, why do you need a less than sign? Because you could just, why would you need to say 1 is less than 3? You could just say 3 is greater than 1. There's a built-in redundancy into the system.
Built in?
Yeah, built in, yeah.
By who?
Yeah. The person who invented it.
Right.
I don't know who invented rectangles.
Oblongs?
I don't know. I don't even know which one's older. Oblongs.
Oblong is a rectangular object or flat figure with unequal adjacent sides.
That's what I said, yeah.
A rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles.
Yeah, that's right.
90 degrees.
That makes sense.
An oblong is elongated, usually from the square or circular form. So it can be circular in form.
No. Circular. What? Read it again.
Oblong is defined as elongated, usually from the square or circular form.
I don't know what you're talking about. How can you have a circular oblong?
If you take a rectangle or a circle and stretch it out, you end up with an elongated shape called an oblong. If you stretch a circle until it becomes an oval, you've made it oblong. An oblong is a shape which has 2 sides and 2 short sides, in which all the angles are right angles.
So you stretch a circle so far that it gets right angles.
Yeah.
What website are you on? Is it like just some... Are you sure it's not meant to be a comedy website and you just can't tell?
Mm-hmm.
Could be, couldn't it?
As far as I am aware, an oblong can have rounded corners.
Rounded edges?
Yeah,
like one of those boxes on PowerPoint that you can load on.
Yeah. Not like an egg, not like an oval, but like
just rounded corners.
Yeah, but yeah, equal rounded corners then.
Okay.
Is that not an oblong?
Goodness knows. You've confused me now, Damon. I have no idea. Let me Google it. Oblong.
What is an oblong? I mean, you seem so certain.
Yeah, I was. A rectangular object or flat figure with unequal adjacent sides. That's what the dictionary said.
Well, isn't a rounded rectangle an oblong? Isn't a rounded oblong a rectangle?
Circular oblong. No, I'm gonna have to look this up tomorrow. This can go in my new maths newsletter.
Okay. Will there be any kind of finality within the podcast about this?
No. I don't think that's not going to happen, is it?
Doubtful.
Yeah. Should we just make something up and pretend that we know the answer?
Yeah.
So,
let's pretend you found something out.
Oh, look at this. Right. There is no such thing as an oblong circle, since the stretched circle has to be called an oval. And any rectangle that isn't square is oblong.
Right. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we cleared it up. Yeah.
Sounds like they're getting confused, isn't it, between oblong and oval?
It does. It's a shame. Yeah. You feel for them. It's a tragedy. Noel Fielding's got a thing about adults don't say oblong when they become adults. Only children say oblong and adults don't say oblong. Do you think that's true?
I think it's I can see where he might get that idea from. But except he's been saying oblong and he's an adult.
Exception proves the rule, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And breaks it.
And breaks it, yeah.
Why?
This is a metaphysical question, isn't it, really? And
just take what you know and place it in an oblong and then shake it up and tell me what you see.
Has it occurred to you, like, there's a bit in The God Delusion, isn't there, where Richard Dawkins, he says, just because a question starts with the word why doesn't mean it's a valid question.
Yeah.
Do you think this, have you ever thought this might apply to your why question?
And we end, as always, with the last question. And that is, what was the fifth cheese of my five cheese board last Christmas? And what was the fifth cracker I had with the fifth cheese?
I think it would have been Cathedral City cheese. Is that right?
What about the cracker?
Oh, Jacob's crackers.
Good guess. It was not Cathedral City, but it was Jacob's.
Was it?
Yeah.
But even so, that means Jacob's crackers was invented after the letter J, after 1630.
Yep.
Do
Jacob,
you think that's why they?
Joshua, Jesus. It all makes sense. Crackers, the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you think you say the letter J was invented in 1630?
It started being used in England in 1630.
Do you think that's why they had the Civil War afterwards? Because stuff like this was like they got nothing better to do than invent letters, and so they thought, okay, let's just have a big war.
No.
They think it contributed to it at all.
No.
Do you think it was? Do you think did people have podcasts? Do you think did somebody have a podcast and at the end they would say, "What is my 26th letter?" And somebody said, "J."
What? Oh.
And that's how it got invented.
Very
You could
good.
have what is the 27th letter? I see 27th letter, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Although that used to be ampersand, didn't it?
It did.
Ampersand used to be the it did.
But we can just do a reboot and make it not canon anymore.
Get ampersand back. No, you mean get rid of J again? Oh.
Yeah, just get rid of like what Disney are doing. Just get rid of all the expanded universe.
Is that what they're doing? I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. The Mandalorian is very good though.
We're not seeing it. If what I usually do happens, I will watch that in about 15 years' time.
This is the way.
Because I've just got around to Auf Feta-sehen, which was most of the cast are dead. I have to wait. I like to wait till most of the cast are dead before I watch things.
Yeah.
People will be watching this and they'll get to the end and they'll go, was that meant to be a comedy? I'm not sure whether that was meant to be a comedy or not.
What is the answer?
It is if Auf Feta-sehen is. You decide what you make of that. And this is essentially the same. It's the same thing.